From the rain-soaked streets of a city that keeps its books in the dark, Callaway Bay Radio presents Endless Noir. Tonight, the last number.
The pavilion out on the waterfront had been running a dance marathon for 600 hours, and every one of them was hanging in the air like sweat. A live band grounded out in the corner, a nickel got you in to watch, and the crowd came for the same reason they slowed down for a wreck. Winter was locked outside the fogged-up glass. In here, it was August that never ended. It was the kind of room Frankie Slim would have worked, back when he was still working rooms. Then the horn dropped for the rest period, the couple sagged where they stood, and a woman came off the floor toward the rail on feet that weren't hers anymore, and she waved me down like I was the last dry land in the harbor.
You're the detective. Somebody pointed you out, said you take work. My name's Ruth. That's my husband out there, the tall one holding the wall up. We've got 11 minutes before the horn, and then we're back on the floor. So I have to talk fast, mister.
Slow enough that I can follow. What is it you think I can do for you in here, Ruth?
One thing. One plain thing. Tell me if this contest is straight. There's $1,200 in that prize, and I have watched 4 couples get carried out on the promoter's say-so. Always the ones close to winning. Always some rule nobody read us. I need to know if it's real before I let him spend what's left of himself chasing it.
And if I find out it's crooked, you'll walk him off that floor?
He hasn't eaten a real meal in a month. His heart does a thing at night I don't have a word for. If it's a fix, I carry him home and we're just poor again. And I can live with poor. But if it's straight, mister, I will hold him up on that floor with my own 2 arms till the last couple drops. Whatever it takes. I mean that the way you don't say things you don't mean.
I've had 100 clients swear they'd do anything, and most of them were lying to me or to themselves. She wasn't doing either. She said she'd hold him up on that floor with her own 2 arms if it came to it, and God help me, I believed every word. The Chronicle newsroom ran on cold coffee and hot copy, and at this hour it was all clatter and no conscience. Flynn had a desk in the corner and a story in his teeth, and when Flynn had a story in his teeth, you couldn't have pried it loose with a crowbar.
Well, look what the fog dragged in. Sit down, sit down. You're just in time. Flynn of the Chronicle is about to make a dance marathon into the sweetest thing you ever read. Kids with nothing left holding each other up for the grand prize. Depression in 3/4 time. The desk will eat it with a spoon.
That the story, Flynn, or the pitch? I came about the promoter. Word is his contest runs a little crooked at the finish. Somebody wanted to know if it's straight.
Straight. Nothing that man touches is straight, but who prints that? I'll trade you. I know the operation cold. He rigs the rest breaks, salts the floor with a ringer couple, keeps the mob dancing till they can't stand so the paying customers get their money's worth. But I'm not chasing the ugly angle. The ugly angle doesn't sell hankies.
Dance till they can't stand. That ever go further than a fainting spell?
A couple weeks back, sure. Girl on the floor just folded right between numbers. Natural causes, they said. Carted her off quiet so the band never stopped. Bad luck, nothing in it. Anyway, on you want the mob fixing stuff, it's yours, but leave me my sob story, huh? That's the one with my name on it.
Natural causes. Flynn said it and moved right past it, hungry for the tender story, blind to the hard one sitting under it. But I stopped where he didn't. A hoofer doesn't drop dead of natural causes at 26. Not unless somebody got paid to sign it that way.
Time, friends, is the one thing this city never gives back. The Calvert Watch Company builds 17 jewel movements that keep it to the second, through rain, rough handling, and late nights. Calvert, the second hand you can trust. And now, the conclusion of the last number.
600 hours in, the hall didn't smell like a ballroom anymore. It smelled like sweat gone stale and floor wax and something underneath that a body learns to recognize. The band played slow so the couples could keep shuffling, and out on the boards, 40 people held each other up because the rules said if your knee touched the floor, you were out. I watched the fixed couple in the middle, fresh shirts, easy smiles, a house team that was never going to fall. Then I found the doctor's cot in the back and the woman kneeling beside it, and I understood I'd been asking the wrong question all night.
You're the one been asking after Sam. I saw you talking to the floor doctor. Whatever he told you, he clears everybody. Man could be blue in the face, and that doctor stamps the card and sends you back out for the gate money. He cleared the fellow that went down Tuesday, too, right before he stopped getting up.
That's what I came to hear, ma'am. The contest's crooked. There's a house couple that takes the prize and a doctor who signs off on the dying so the crowd keeps buying tickets. Tuesday's man wasn't an accident, but that's not what's got you on your knees back here.
His heart. A doctor told me 2 days ago, a real one, in the restroom where they give you your 11 minutes, said get him off the floor, said it plain. 2 days. And every hour since, I've had him up on my feet and mine, walking him through the slow numbers, holding his weight so the judges don't see how he leans.
You could stop. Right now, walk him out that door.
Walk him out to what? The prize is $1,000 and a roof for a year. There's no room and no work and no train out of this that we haven't already spent. I keep telling myself one more night. I told myself that Tuesday. I told myself that an hour ago. I don't know how to be the one who quits, mister. I only know how to keep dancing him.
She went back out and took his weight like she'd taken it 1,000 hours running, and the band slid into something slow enough to die to. She wasn't playing an angle. She was a woman who'd made one desperate choice and couldn't find the door out of the next one. She'd known he was dying for 2 days. And every hour of those 2 days, she'd danced him anyway. Dawn came up gray over Callaway Bay, the color of dishwater, the color of a thing you already know and don't want to. Dale was at her desk before the light was, coat still on. She'd read what I had on the fix. She had the folder closed under her hand like she was keeping it from getting out.
So you give this to Flynn at the Chronicle, and it runs. The fix, the promoter, the doctor who signed the wrong line. All of it. And she reads it over her coffee. Sunshine, the widow, that her husband died so a fixed card could pay out.
The dancer gets his name back. That's not nothing, Dale. A man died of nobody. Print it and he's a man they killed.
And she loses the prize, the house. And every night, for the rest of her life, she hears you handed a reporter the reason her husband's gone. You want to give a dead man his name? Fine. You'd be taking hers to do it.
And if I bury it, the hall keeps turning. Same promoter, same doctor, next card, next fighter. Nobody up top pulling the string on this one, Dale. No boss, no machine. Just the town doing what the town does.
There it is. You've been doing this all season. Finding the true thing and holding it under till it stops kicking because the person in front of you can't carry it. You keep telling yourself it's mercy. One of these days you're going to run out of drawer.
I've already decided.
Yeah, I can see which way by your face. I just want it on the record. I didn't like it.
She was right, the way she's always right. The way she remembers things the rest of us are busy forgetting. There was a true thing on my desk with a dead man in it, and a way to say it out loud that would cost a living woman everything she had left. I knew which way I was going. That was the trouble with knowing. It didn't make the walk any shorter. It took a phone call I made up out of nothing. A sister taken bad across town, a cab already waiting, and a floor judge glad to wave them off rather than carry a second body out the side door. They disqualified him for leaving the floor. He left it breathing. That was the whole prize. The rest I buried where the city keeps its warm things. The promoter kept his contest. The house doctor kept his little black bag, and the fellow who went down last week stayed dead of natural causes forever. Flynn of the Chronicle got a story about a girl fainting from the heat. He wired it in, and it wasn't worth the ink. She came to the doorway to find me, still in her number, 4,100 hours on her feet, and every one of them showing.
There wasn't any sister, mister. I don't have one. I stood right there and heard you invent her.
There was tonight. That's all a story needs. You go on home and let the man sleep. He's got a real doctor and a bad heart and a wife who dragged him off the floor a winner. Nobody's going to ask you what you knew.
I know what you paid to keep my name out of it. It's not the kind of thing a person gets to say thank you for. So I won't. But I know.
Good. Keep it where you keep the blisters. Now go on. I want your face when he wakes up, not mine. She went, holding him up the way she'd held him up all week, and the cold took them both before they reached the corner. It was better out there than in. The street doesn't run a clock on you, and it doesn't pretend the floor is fair. Behind me, the band found the next number, and in all that heat, another couple leaned into each other and kept dancing for nothing at all. Rain again. In Callaway Bay, it's always coming down somewhere, on somebody who had it coming and somebody who didn't. The phone will ring soon enough. It always does.
A man can hide most things, friends, but never a cheap hat. The Meridian Hat Company has blocked fine felt for gentlemen since 1908. Rainproof, wind steady, and shaped to keep your business under the brim where it belongs. Meridian, the hat that keeps its shape and yours. And now our second feature, The Borrowed Name.
The Blue Room in the afternoon was a church with the saints gone home. Chairs on tables, the bandstand empty, sleet ticking the window like a bill collector nobody was going to answer. Marchetti had the whole place to himself and still poured two, the way a man does when he wants you to remember he had the second glass ready before you walked in.
There he is. Sit, Seamus, sit. 20 years I run this room, and I never once had you at a table. Always in a doorway, always leaving. That's no way to know a man. Have a drink. On the house. Which in this house means it's on me.
You didn't send a car across town in the sleet to teach me manners, Marchetti. Usually when you want to see me, you send a warning. This feels like an invitation. Those cost more.
A warning? Listen to him. See, a warning's for a man on the outside. I got a problem on the inside, and for that, I need a fella who ain't mine. Somebody's been walking my docks, collecting envelopes, using my name to do it. My name. Now, time was, I'd send 2 boys, and it'd be settled by supper.
And now you're respectable.
Now I'm careful. A respectable man can't be seen sending muscle to the waterfront over some envelopes. But a fella who asks quiet questions, who don't leave a mark, who nobody can hang on Pauly Marchetti, that fella can find out who's spending my name and make him stop. No blood, no noise. There's an envelope of my own in it for you, a generous one.
He slid the second glass across the felt, the courtesy this room had always used on me in place of a fist. The offer you're supposed to be too smart to take. I let it sit, but the envelope that I picked up. 29 times I'd walked out of a case with dirt under my nails and nothing in my pocket, and I'd told myself that was the one clean thing left in me. The paper was heavier than it looked. First boss's dollar I ever carried, and I couldn't tell you why a man who trusts no one would set a nameless stranger loose that close to his neck, unless a name is exactly the thing he'd already decided I didn't have to give. The radiator had quit sometime after Thanksgiving and never apologized. I came in out of the sleet with the boss's money folded in my coat, laid it on the blotter, and watched Dale look at it the way you look at a stain that wasn't there yesterday.
That's not a client's retainer. A client's money is nervous. It comes in creased, counted twice. This came in flat and sure of itself. This is somebody's payroll. Whose?
Marchetti's.
29 cases. 29. You've been leaned on by that man, warned by him, nearly buried by him, and you never once carried his water. That was the whole point of you. No name on the door, nobody's errand boy. Now his dollar's holding down your desk.
It's not an errand. There's a squeeze running on the Dock families. Envelopes every week in his name. Somebody's bleeding widows for stove coal in the dead of winter. I'm stopping it.
Whose squeeze? You say you're stopping a shakedown. Fine. Whose is it? Marchetti pulled his men off those docks months ago, so who's still collecting? A rival? Or the man who just paid you to ask?
I opened my mouth to give her the answer and found I didn't have one. I'd taken the money, shaken the man's hand, and walked out of the blue room certain I was the good guy in this, and never once asked the only question that decided it. Dale didn't push. She just let the quiet sit there on the desk next to the cash, the two of them keeping each other company.
I'll file it under pending. That's the drawer where we keep the things you should have asked first.
She was right, and she hadn't gloated, and that was worse. A boss doesn't hire a stranger to stop a shakedown unless the shakedown's already costing the boss something. I'd signed on to fix a squeeze without knowing whose neck it fit, and until I did, I couldn't say whose side I'd just been bought for.
Friends, the night runs long in this town, and nobody knows it better than the man who works it. That's why night people reach for lamplight coffee. Slow roasted, honest, and strong enough to keep a fellow's eyes where they belong. Open. Lamplight, the cup that keeps the night shift honest. And now, the conclusion of the borrowed name.
The collector wasn't a button man or a leg breaker. I followed the envelopes 3 blocks off the waterfront, up a stairwell that smelled of coal smoke and boiled cabbage, and found her working the stoops in the sleet, a docker's widow in a dead man's overcoat, taking a little from every door and handing back a receipt with her eyes. Trouble in this city doesn't always come in silk. You've been going door to door in Marchetti's name. The whole block pays you. Somebody hired me to find out who, and here you are, ma'am, out in the cold with your hand out.
I'm not going to lie to a man who already knows. My name is on none of it, and his name is on all of it. You want to run a widow in for keeping the heat on? Go ahead. There's a stove on every floor of this street, and I'm the reason they're lit.
Marchetti's men walked off these docks months back. There's no toll to collect. There's nothing behind the name anymore.
They walked off in the fall and never told anybody it stopped. The families were still scared not to pay, scared of a man who'd already forgotten they were alive. So I started knocking. Same envelopes, same nights. I take the fear he left lying in the street, and I turn it into coal. My husband went into that harbor working these piers. I won't let his neighbors freeze because Pauly Marchetti decided to go respectable.
It's still a shakedown, missus. Doesn't matter whose coat it's wearing.
Then carry it to him, if that's the job you took. Tell Pauly Marchetti a widow's been wearing his name up and down the docks. He'll want it stopped, and stopped clean. And the week you stop it, mister, this block goes dark. New Year's. Come back and count the windows that don't light.
She turned back to her stoops, and I stood in the sleet doing arithmetic I didn't care for. The imposter wasn't a grifter or a ghost. She was the one thing standing between this street and the winter, and I'd taken a gangster's money to find her. Money I'd already spent getting here. The blue room was warm the way a bank vault is warm. Money holds its own weather. Outside, the docks were half frozen and half idle, and the stoves on the widow's block were burning on his name. Marchetti poured 2 glasses I hadn't asked for and waited, patient as a landlord, for me to tell him what his money had bought.
Sit down, Seamus. You look cold. A man does a job in weather like this. He's earned a drink and my attention. So, somebody's out there shaking my block in my name. Give me the name and we'll call it square.
There's no name to give you, Marchetti. No rival, no crew moving in. It's a widow, docker's wife. Your men pulled off the piers and left the block still expected to pay, so she picks up the envelopes herself and buys coal with them. The racket's yours. She just kept it running as charity while you were out getting respectable.
A widow? Huh. You know what that tells me? It tells me the name still works. I don't gotta stand on a dock in the sleet. I don't gotta break a knuckle. The name collects while I sleep. That's not a problem you found me, detective. That's the whole thing I paid good lawyers to buy.
Then we're clear. She walks. She didn't take a dime that wasn't already going to be taken.
She walks? What am I gonna do? Put a widow in the harbor the week before Christmas. Blood's bad for the picture I'm painting now. No, the envelope stopped, and my boys go back down there to protect the block. Friendly, respectful, ground. I forgot I owned. And you just went and proved nobody else does. That's clean work. I like clean work.
I'd taken a boss's money and I'd done the job right, and the doing of it right handed him back a whole neighborhood he'd walked away from. He shook my hand like a man closing on a house. He didn't tell me not to come back. That was the part that stayed with me on the long, cold walk to the door. He'd left it open. In this city, a name is a thread, and I just let mine get stitched into his. The sleet came down like the sky was billing the whole city and nobody could cover it. I got back to the office with my collar up and my conscience open, which is to say Dale was still at her desk, the lamp low, a pot going cold beside her. She didn't ask how it went. She never asks. She just waits for me to say it out loud.
You've got that look, Sunshine. The one that means the client's happy and you're not. So, the widow on the block, is she in the harbor or in a cell?
Neither. She's clear. Nobody touches her. Nobody touches her stoves. I gave Marchetti the truth, that it was never a shakedown, just a widow keeping her block warm on his name, and he thanked me for it, took his docks back with the same breath.
So she keeps the block, and he keeps everything else. The man who walked off those docks now owns them again, and he owns them cleaner, because you handed him a reason that sounds decent out loud.
You're keeping score again.
Always. Most cases you bury a thing or you spend a favor. I mark those and I let them go. This one's different. You didn't bury it and you didn't spend anything. You took a boss's money and you did the job well. That's a new line, and it's the first one that isn't a debt or a body. I'm not scolding you. I'm just writing it down where it goes.
She wrote it down. The nib scratched once and stopped, and outside the sleet kept working the glass. 29 cases I'd been the man nobody could name, and it turned out that was worth something to Pauly Marchetti after all. Somewhere across town a door stood open, warm, expecting me back, and it had started counting my office as one of its own. My name wasn't on my door. His was on it now, in a hand I couldn't see.
The books never balance in Callaway Bay, Sunshine. We just keep them anyway. Good night.
Next week, The Word He Lent.